motion to approve?
So move.
Got a motion by Commissioner, by Member Bankson,
Member?
Second.
second by Member Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, new business, the CRA fiscal year 2022-23 budget approval. Jim Hitt.
We have a presentation first. This is something that's been near and dear to my heart, and I hope all of yours. This is a presentation from Tyler Melberg from Newkirk Engineering. They're the firm that the city has hired to do the design and engineering for the trail itself. Again, just to kind of as a refresh, the trail is about 2 miles. It skirts around. Well, actually, you'll see it on the PowerPoints, and also is also out front in the lobby. But it goes primarily down Michael Gladden, up Hawthorne on the north side of Alonzo Williams Park, where that dirt path is right now. That'll only be dedicated just for the trail. No more cars. No more cars next to where kids play, kind of thing. And then it'll cross over at Lake Avenue, going up to Station Street. And then there'll be a little gap there, which is for the Station Street project, but they'll be able to connect into both sides, but on the east and the west. And on the east side, it'll head down Station Street, which one portion of that will be turned into a one-way going southeast, and then it'll run up 6th Street all the way to the city center. So we're basically going to connect the east side of downtown to the west side of downtown, and the north and the south. A leg of that will end up, we're also going to be designing a leg going up Central Ave from Michael Gladden up to the Station Street project also. So we're going to hit that in 2 different ways, going north and south. And it's a 10-foot trail. We'll be replacing aprons for the driveways and adding lighting, which is a vital part for this and for the residents in this area. We'll also be doing some trees. We haven't finalized what kind of trees we're going to be putting in, but it'll also be trees.
It's interesting because I was just at the museum, and one of the ladies that's from the farm workers that they're featuring her, she was just asking me how can she get crepe myrtles put on a particular street, on 13th Street. Is because is 13th Street part of?
No, no. No,
Yeah,
that's,
she was asking for crepe myrtles.
yeah, 13th Street, the majority of that's in the county, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah. But
Okay.
we know a commissioner for that.
Yeah, well, she was asking me,
Yeah.
how can she get trees, so, okay.
Well, without any more delay from my part, Tyler, take it away. He's got the pointer and the slides
All
are
right.
Well, Jim covered pretty much all the high points on this, so we'll get a little bit into it. He really kind of covered this. The 2 things that he didn't talk about is we're going to be resurfacing 6th Street from Park Avenue all the way east to Alabama Avenue, and we're going to be replacing the existing curb lines, which are in pretty poor shape when you go through there. The pavement's almost all the way up to them, with new F curb, which is curb and gutter. And we have that in some of the pictures to give you guys a better idea of what that's going to be. So just the segment on 6th Street is going to be resurfaced as well. There's going to end up being an improved crossing at 6th Street and Park Avenue, across Park Avenue, with one of the rectangular rapid flash beacon systems. So the little strobe LEDs that people can push.
So we're not going to go ahead and finish it all the way out to 441. It just seems kind of,
Well, we're actually tying into the sidewalk and everything that got built with the city center project.
oh, okay, okay.
On the
okay.
east end. So that is our terminus point.
Okay.
We just aren't resurfacing. We do go a little past Alabama, but we're
Okay.
not going quite all the way. So this map is kind of hard to see. You guys have one in front of you as
Yes.
well. It shows the segments. There is the 4th segment shown on this that is not going to be built this year with our project right now. We have 3 different plan sets that we've put together, one for Michael Gladden, one for Hawthorne and 5th Street, and one for the 6th Street segment. The expectation that we have is that we're going to be going to advertisement for construction in September for the Michael Gladden, Hawthorne, and 5th Street segments. We will include the 6th Street components on that, but with a build second phasing in it, so get the other trails constructed and open first so we don't have all of downtown ripped open at once. And once those projects are getting wrapped up, we should be well underway with development for the central segment that will come. So we put together some composites showing before and after. Most of these, my photo location was great. I think the photo I took on Michael Gladden, it's right in front of the Jamaican restaurant. I probably should have been more on the trail instead of out in the road. But what we're trying to communicate with this largely is where you're going to see the enhancements and the cleanup are outside of the pavement everywhere except 6th Street and 6th Street. It's going to be a pretty good cleanup of the entire typical section of the road. Station Street, as Jim mentioned, is going to be a one-way section. We don't have available width to maintain 2 lanes and get the full trail width in. I looked at both directions and kind of considered what's going to be the safer operation, looked at visibility. Effectively, you don't have sight distance as safely in the northwest-bound direction as you do in the southeast-bound direction. It also seems like it'll function better for what's there. But that's the reason that we did choose the direction that we chose. So these are some more zoomed in. This is next to the park. You know, we have a mud puddle today. This area is going to look like a really attractive road, so we're going to have bollards at each end that will keep people from being able to drive into this. So it's another picture kind of a little bit further back, same area. So this is Station Street. You can see we're putting the trail on the left. We have room for a little bit of a grass strip and curb and gutter. We're going to be converting kind of what is almost no man's land asphalt on the right into some parallel parking spaces. And give a little definition of curb line. Along Michael Gladden, it's very simple, as Jim mentioned. We're just going to be doing the turnouts, driveway aprons, and the trail with lighting. This is 6th Street. The museum's on the left, just kind of out of the photo here. I'm facing in the west, or excuse me, in the east direction, down from kind of the western end of the 6th Street segment. And then this is looking west from Alabama. So this is, we've got the churches on the right there. So we're putting the trail in on the left. This is one area of it. We'll have pavers around the power poles. We're splitting the power poles rather than relocating them. It would be great expense, not a lot of benefit. And we've coordinated with Hannibal Square that's coming in which is just beyond the reach of this photo on the left as well. Same. So some estimated costs, you know, with the resurfacing, we're spending a little more money on 6th Street than on the other segments, but we're looking a little over $2 million is our estimated costs on this. Please bear with me with my estimates. Asphalt has changed by over 50% in cost, up and then back down quite a bit in the last 6 months. There's a shortage of aggregate right now that's affecting concrete and asphalt pricing. So hopefully things will stay stable like they are at the moment, but you know, that's what we have. So schedule, I kind of talked about it already, that we're expecting to get underway in our advertisement process in September, which would put us at a notice to proceed. You know, construction's going to begin right around Christmas time. So I'm expecting it'll either be a couple of weeks before and they'll start getting everything set up and really start doing the earth movement in January, or they may just not even get started until January. It won't take too long to knock those first few segments out. It's quick work. The 6th Street segment will take a little bit longer. That's why we phase it second. Any questions?
Any questions for Tyler?
Just one, I'm pretty sure I understand, but just right on 6th Street where Ace Hardware exits, that's still two-way, that section, correct?
That will still be two-way, yep. It's where Station Street and 6th Street intersect is that's the eastern end of the one-way, and Central on the western end is eastern.
Will there be any turning lanes? Because usually when anyone wants to turn left, like into the police station or that street, it really just stops the entire...
I have sat at that stop sign a lot of times, so I know what you're talking about. I'm not fixing that problem, unfortunately.
It's not going to fix that problem, or they
We
go
don't
into
have-
the
We don't
little...
have width to put in another lane there.
Yeah,
But
even to go into the strip mall that's there, when they want to...
I mean, that may be something to look at down the road. I think she's talking about right behind, let's
After
see,
the train
right behind where I'm
tracks.
standing here. Are you talking on Sixth Street?
Yeah, okay. All right, past the train tracks, the gas station is on the right?
So going
And
further
the strip,
south.
yeah,
Down by the dollar store,
yeah.
The new
By
Family
which
Dollar
store?
General.
Dollar General.
Yes,
Yeah, so we have the trail along Michael Gladden in
Right.
front of the Dollar General, but we haven't done any design work on the central segment yet, so.
yeah, because sometimes you're just standing there, you're just sitting there to either make the left. The right is easy, it's the left because of the oncoming traffic both ways. So we're not doing anything there.
No, this is purely a trail enhancement. We're just resurfacing Sixth Street to keep the pavement in good shape with the curb lines back in. As we bring the trail in, it's really hard to build curb ramps and everything else correctly tying to what's there today.
Okay,
But we weren't looking at roadway enhancements with this project.
so where does the trail go from there? It's just all of Michael Gladden?
Michael Gladden Hawthorne, this is the extent of the CRA.
One of
Okay.
these-
Trails going south from there yet, but that would be a future thing that the city would probably have to do in conjunction with another type of a grant, but this is all CRA money.
Okay.
For the trails, so we're staying within the CRA.
Okay, so you're staying within the CRA. Okay,
Yeah, so along Michael Gladden, it's basically from Park all the way across to Hawthorne. We turn the corner at Hawthorne, and we're gonna have sidewalk connections down, but the trail is actually gonna stay up the hill, so you don't, there's a really bad grading issue here, if you guys are familiar. Then we push north, and when we turn and come around here, this road will be closed to cars, like I mentioned, then we stay on the north side, right at back of curb and gutter, and wrap around. We're crossing on the existing track surface at the
Okay.
FE, or excuse me, this is Central Florida Expressway tracks. And then, or Central Florida Railroad, not Express, CFR. Sixth Street segment, we only pick up from Central, and we go almost all the way to McGee.
One part where Forest Dam is, where we're gonna be, this is
Yes.
the existing intersection with the West Orange Trail. So we are actually going to the north side, and at that point, we're gonna be shifting south. And the reason, we were originally gonna go all the way to the city center on the north side, but there's too many property owners there that did not want the trail and couldn't get the road right away in order to go that far. So we're shifting it to the south, where we're actually working with 4 property owners instead of 7, or I think it was 8. And it'll also pick up, but we are intersecting right at McGee where the existing sidewalk is. So it'll all be interconnected very easily.
And there's a stretch right here that where Sixth Street just isn't aligned. We're shifting it a little bit south. Part of this is there's a very steep hill on the north side of the road, and so by shifting it south, we give a little bit more room for that to be stable and, fix the road.
North side also had a challenge with about, I think it's 5 fairly good-sized trees that we really did not want to have to cut down.
Yeah, 3 live oaks above 30 inches in diameter. They're nice trees too. They're in good health, so. I never like to cut a tree down if we don't have to. There's unfortunately a few with this project that are gonna get cut, and it's something to just be aware of. The trees that we have to cut for the project are because we can't safely leave them with the trail. And so it is, don't have a trail in that segment or don't have a tree in that location.
are we adding any trees along the trail?
And we are going to be planting trees back afterwards.
On, in reference to the actual, like, homeowners and the amount of, like, driveway aprons that we're doing, do we have a number for that? Of, like, how many people we're impacting on that front?
So it's probably about 25, but I don't have the exact number.
Somewhere in there, okay,
I can
yeah.
get you an exact number.
Gotcha. And then to confirm, we are doing lighting across the entire project?
Yes, and we're working with Duke. Duke is gonna be the design and installer of the lighting through their program, which is how most of the other lighting in the city is handled.
Okay.
It's
And
the
then-
direction things have been going, I should say.
Closer to McGee, in between McGee and Alabama on the south side of Sixth, eventually there'll be development there. They're probably gonna have to tear that up again and redo it in some capacity?
Hopefully, they will design around the trail other than where their driveway connections would be. Hopefully.
Okay.
There, the caveat is we have a lot of utilities and drainage pipes that are, it's tight right away, so they're under the sidewalks, they're under the trail. So there may be things that come up that cause that.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Here I am. I know we'll have lighting along the length of the trail and that trees will be added. I'm just trying to envision as far as if, you know, a person or a bike or whatever is on the trail, as far as safety issues, will you still be able to, you know, see from the exterior, or I'm just wondering, should you also maybe, is there a possibility to add those, what do you call it, emergency call boxes along the trail too? Or, you know, are any other SEPTED principles being used or incorporated to just ensure safety along the trail?
You know, that, it's a great question. I think that this is something that, I worked at DOT, so one of the things that happened when I worked there was we got rid of all the call boxes statewide, and the reason was maintenance. It was very difficult to keep them operational, so I don't want to say, no, we can't do that. I would say, you know, I'd want to work with whoever at the city is going to have to maintain it and make sure that whatever we're going to include with the project would make sense from that. DOT couldn't keep them maintained. They were constantly getting hit by federal highway because they had stuff that didn't work that was supposed to be your safe refuge. And so I don't want to say that by trying to do something good, we would create a liability, but I would want to make sure that we have a plan that it can be successful and not just, there was a citywide Wi-Fi initiative that a lot of money got spent on years back that didn't work out really well. And it was because it didn't get planned out far enough and successfully enough to see the full deployment plan. So that's, I want to make sure we don't fall into that trap. But I can work with Jim on that.
Yeah, it's something we can look at as we install and use the trail.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. The lights aren't going to be on 24 hours a day. Nobody wants street lights on 24 hours a day in most residential neighborhoods, and it's not typical practice. Or at least I imagine they won't be on 24 hours a day. Are they? Okay. So in a lot of cases, street lights aren't on at night, though, and at like 4 in the morning types of time periods. And so it is a safety issue that we have for nighttime pedestrians and folks that are working night shift and other things. You know, that's a great idea.
I was gonna say, because it'd be similar to like on a university at UCF or whatever, they have similar safety call boxes to go to. I think that's a great idea. I think it's a huge value add.
Yeah, I just don't want to be the one to commit the police without talking to them first.
Sure.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, can you go back to the picture with the Alonzo Williams Park is with the dirt?
Yes.
Road?
Give it just a second. I zoomed out too far. More. How do I get this back? There we go. So this one?
Yeah.
We've got
Yes.
these two. Yeah.
All right, see where the palm is, where that fence turns and goes south?
Yep.
The property that's to the east of that also is city property. Can we move that fence and then fence in all of the city property? Because right now, there are individuals that park under those trees, and if we're going to make that a pedestrian walk path, then we need to fence in all the property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually part of the Alonzo Williams FERDAP grant that we're working on right now, along with the parking lot off of Washington that you and I had talked about a few years ago.
All right,
Public Works has a project to
Yeah.
build a parking lot,
Along
basically
with
on
new
the
fencing.
property that you're talking about.
Okay.
And to make a lot of modifications there. And we've sent them our files, they're tying in with the trail for their pedestrian connections and everything else in that location.
okay,
I think that would be the project to do what you're talking about, though.
all right.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Now, Jim, is this already up, the maps onto the CRA, our website?
We can put the whole packet up there.
Okay.
That way they'll have all the information for it.
Good, okay, thank you.
Sure.
And so, and can you send that presentation to us as well?
I can do that too.
All right.
Great. Okay. Budget approval, is that you or Edward?
That's me.
Okay.
You want to do it? Okay, this one, this is the recommended budget approval for the 2023 fiscal year. We already did the invocation, we already did the Pledge of Allegiance. We do have the
I guess-
approval of the minutes. We get that?
Yep.
I think we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did
Okay.
that, but we, public comment, I don't
Public
know if
comment.
you got
Did we
anybody
have-
that would want to speak
Public comment?
on the CRA? Anybody want to speak on the CRA? Okay.
So Tyler did his thing. This is, there's two portions to this budget approval itself that are required by Florida statutes. The first one is the, and this is all in your packet. First one is Resolution 2022-1, and this is to carry over leftover funds from the CRA Redevelopment Trust Fund for the following year. Basically, this is, we've already got these designated for primary projects. So what Florida statutes requires is that we actually pass a resolution to extend those funds into the following year. So that's part of the budget approval. The second portion, and that also has, by the way, that was in your packet, that also has a chart for the actual expenditures, which I've got further explained in the PowerPoint and in with this presentation. The second portion is, the second resolution is 2022-02, and this is the estimated revenues and expenditures balance sheet for the budget year. And as part of that presentation, for the information for the budget itself, that's where we take off into the PowerPoint. This is also some of, like, justification, show you what we've been doing over the last few years. This is a brochure that we put together that basically shows where the CRA is. It's 633 acres, comprising primarily of the main downtown. And we have 6 programs. A few have been much more utilized than others, but they are available, and that's the big thing that is the key, is that they are available. As the CRA gets going with its development, my expectations is that they will get used more as we fill in more of the blank properties or vacant properties with new buildings. As you know, the parking lot kind of jump-started the downtown. We've got, I believe it's 5 new businesses just within a 3-block area. So the main projects or the assistance programs that we have is the facade renovation assistance program and the building code assistance program. Both of those are probably our premier ones. They require a 25% match with a $5,000 cap for the CRA portion. The facade part is exterior, painting, new windows, new doors, signage, numbering for the addressing, interior of the building code. This is where we have a lot of older buildings that need new wiring. They might need new plumbing. Air conditioning is a big one. Obviously, air conditioners, they're running constantly. They're good for 10 to 20 years. 20 years if you're really lucky. But some of these bigger ones that they're putting in are 4-tonners, and they're actually very efficient now than what they were when I got mine 10 years ago. But that's probably one of the big ones. But they can also use these for construction of ADA accessible bathrooms and access going into the building. So that can be a big help there. The next 2 are the building permit refund assistance program and the building impact fee assistance program. These 2, we originally were going to use this for just about anything that went in, but it turned out they weren't being used that much. So to entice some of the property owners that actually have vacant property here, we shortened that to allow for brand new buildings. We've got a number of sites that I believe that once Station Street's gets going, that the few sites that we have right around that area off of Central Ave, we'll probably be able to use that a little bit more. Then we've got 2 residential programs. There's a residential fee assistance program. This is for impact fees for brand new construction, and it goes anywhere from single family to townhomes to multifamily. It is a sliding scale, basically anywhere from 33% all the way up to the full percentage, depending on if it's an affordable housing project or not. that can pay up to $20,451 towards the impact fees. The least amount, I believe, is about $6,000 at the 33%. We've had 3 buildings that have been constructed using this program since we started it about 2.5 years ago. So that's also the most residential units, brand new units that we've had built in the CRA district in about 30 years. So it's
Where are
already
the-
helping.
Where are the 3 that they built?
There's 2 on Washington and 1 on 8th Street. And I've got another set of 4 homes going in off of 10th Street that the Hendersons are going to be utilizing. And then we have 2 projects, actually 3 townhome projects that we're going to be utilizing. One will and these are probably going to be a little less than the full percentage. They do get credits if there was a house on that site to begin with. The impact fees are given credit for that, towards that, so we don't necessarily have to use all the monies for those. Hamilton, sorry, not Hamilton. Anyway, there's one right across the street from the bus station with 18 units, and there's another one off of, I believe it's 5th Street, 3 blocks to the west, that has, I believe it's 9 units that they'll be able to use that. Hannibal Square, thank you. I was
Okay.
close. That one is 24 units, and they're townhomes. And they actually, they should be submitting for building plans probably within the next 2-3 weeks now.
Oh, good.
And that's also right on the trail. That's probably one of their big selling points, is that it will be on the trail, so they can go east-west. They'll be able to go north on McGee in order to go to Winn-Dixie shopping. So in terms of an affordable housing location, that one's ideal. They picked a good spot. They're also elated that they're going to be right on the trail. So the next part, this is kind of tail of the tape for the CRA assistance programs themselves. I listed all the programs. We've processed in about 3 years 41 applications. Each one has an application, and 3 of them have agreements to go with them. So it's a little bit of paperwork, but it's a pleasure, because one of the things that I like the most is once the project is done and I get that building permit finalized for whatever project they were, the CRA portion pays a portion, which is in this case $211,000 that we paid out through the CRA. The applicant, for some of these programs, are required to do a percentage, either half depending on the program, or 25%, or they get a full $1,000 in this case for the residential fee part, renovation. But typically the applicant puts in more money than we're putting in. And as you can see, the total amount that has been spent or reinvested in the CRA between the city, CRA, and the applicant is $346,000. So it's a good reinvestment for the city. And I've been seeing more and more people are calling me asking, hey, how can I apply? I send them all the information. I have them come in and I fill out the paperwork for them so that I can actually read the writing. That's important to me, because if I can't read the writing, then nobody else can read the writing if they want to look at the applications to see how we're doing. But anyway, this is probably one of the best redevelopment assistance programs that I've seen. And I'm a member of the FRA, and we talk about all these renovation projects all the time. So one of
were
the questions
these
I always
just-
get is, you have 6 programs?
So these were strictly businesses that you did the renovation program with?
Primarily businesses. We've had 1 residential renovation. I've got 2 people that have called me the last couple of weeks that are also looking to do some renovations also. But again, it's not as popular because they still have to pay money in order to do something typically.
So which business, just give me an idea of which business that you did a whose phone is that?
It's not mine.
Okay.
Well,
Like,
this is why I gave you the sheet. This sheet is part of your packet.
Is
But you
this
might-
this one here?
Yes, that's that one. So for the business ones,
Okay.
starting out in 2018, Young's Law Firm, catty corner to City Hall here, and also All American Furniture, World of Suds on Main Street. Sergio Romero's, that's the.
Yeah, but
the
World
build-
of Suds,
That's the.
they took that down though, right?
I don't know if they're still in business. This is again back in 2019.
Okay.
So I thought they were still in business. They're still, yeah,
Oh,
they're still in
okay.
business.
World of Suds, yeah, okay.
Sergio Ramirez, these are air conditioners that were on Central Ave. This is the building that is where the bike shop is.
Oh,
They've got
okay.
2 units upstairs, 2 units downstairs. Porky's,
Okay.
they did air conditioning. You can see air conditioning. 3 Odd Guys, the Axis Place, which is now the Axe Hole.
Right,
Actually, they just did another application for an air conditioner. They originally just did some money for some firewall work.
okay. I
Farm
see.
City, air conditioner, a couple of years ago. Apopka Furniture over on Central Ave. Propagate Social House,
Yeah.
air conditioner. See, air conditioners are the big ones. Smoke Exchange, which is also same plaza as 3 Odd Guys.
Right, that's that whole plaza right
Yep.
there.
Lula Mays took advantage of it pretty good. She did a wonderful job. She got front door and frame, 20-gallon grease trap, and a mop sink. And then that was for, basically the majority. And then she came back in for electrical outlets and an exit sign. And as I mentioned, the Axe Hole for air conditioner. Presbyterian Church just came in. They're going to do a whole fire alarm system. You can see that whole thing is $22,000.
Yeah, that's,
And this is one of the things, the nonprofits, we do require a 50-50 match for that because they don't pay into the taxes that everybody else is paying into. But as I explained to Kathy Vave, who's the representative for the church, they're considered a valuable member of our downtown. And they bring people downtown. So we want to make sure that we support them because they do bring people downtown. And that's part of our CRA district.
okay.
Central Florida, Tanks of Dough. This is Mark Hutchinson. He just bought the building, the pawn shop. He bought the building. So he not only was here for quite a few years over at the Cooper Recreation Building, but he moved his business downtown and decided, I'm going to invest. So he bought the building. He's already talking about making an addition on the second floor of the one-story portion. So we got people that are investing in our downtown again. Brett
Where's-
Jordan, I'm sorry.
Where's that coffee shop? Brett Jordan. Who is he?
This is a new one. You know where Cannon Coffee is, correct? Over on
Yes.
2nd Street and Lake. They are going to be expanding, and it's going to be called True Coffee by Cannon. And they are going in, you know where the train station is on Station Street, the old train station? Well, the Jordans own that, and they also own the building just to the southeast of that. It used to be like an art.
Oh, is that the caboose that's sitting on the tracks
It's not a
now?
caboose, no. There's
It's
no caboose on
actually
the
a-
tracks.
Isn't that where that mural was that we just did 2 years
It
ago?
is
Yeah, is that where
exactly
they're-
that same
Okay.
location where the mural, thank you. They took that off,
Right.
But they're going to be moving in that building and renovating that one, painting it, a couple new windows, and putting in a coffee shop there. The big key with that one is the trail is going to be going down Station Street and hooking it at 6th Street. So they're
Okay.
going to be right at that nexus of those 3 corners.
Okay.
So
But it's not up and running right now?
No.
Okay.
So
Do
that's
we have
the,
this list in here?
yes.
Yeah, it's in here.
Page
Now,
13.
So I'm asking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in Apopka Furniture, new awning.
Do you have it?
It's page 13. in the-
I don't have it.
I emailed it.
It's not in this.
Nikki doesn't have it. I don't have it.
I don't
not
know.
in
Well,
this.
not in this, no.
It should be in your email.
Yeah, in your CRA.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you want to print out, just let me know. I'll print a bunch out and I can, leave them upstairs or bring them down and put them in your mailbox.
I see.
Sometimes it's easier to do that than look on the iPad. I'll just do that. I'll do that way you've got it.
Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to see where you were referencing.
Sure. Yeah, it started out with the building code and then the facade and then it goes into the next 2 business portions and then the residential portions.
Oh, David Chase did get windows,
Yep.
but that was back in 2019, 2018. Okay.
Hopefully he won't need any more because I do not pay for the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And usually once they get a grant, they typically don't get another grant. Most of this stuff should be lasting at least, 10, 15 years. So in a few more years, I might come back to you again and ask you to authorize new, same type projects, if it's new painting or new paint or something like that. But even the paint should last at least 10 years. Oh, we probably got to get rolling, don't we?
Okay, okay, that's interesting. Thank you.
Sure. So for this next budget year, our total budget amount is $4,163,599. That consists of the downtown Apopka Trail, the 6th Street, this is kind of inflated, the 3.1. Whatever money is left over, we'll be able to utilize for other projects. So if you, and I'm going to go ahead and email the redevelopment plan to you again, so you've got that. And Mr. Nesta, I don't think I've got a copy for you yet. For the redevelopment plan for the CRA, I'll make sure I get a copy for you too.
Okay.
Because there are different projects that are in there that we could take on with whatever monies we have left over. I'm kind of going from the bottom up on this, just because I told you how much it was. Now we're going to tell you where it's coming or what it's going towards. So the Central Ave portion, we budgeted $350,000. That should be a fairly easy one to do because it is fairly flat. And there's a couple sections where there are businesses that we really can't do anything else with because the sidewalk and the existing parking is perpendicular to the road. We can't really take that away from them at this stage. But there is sidewalk there. They just will bypass one section to go to the next section. Electrical amp boxes on Central and 5th Street. This is looking towards the future. When we get Central, the Station Street project going, what the plan here is to put in electrical boxes about every tree, which we're going to be planning. We do already have some trees there. But this way, when we hold events downtown, the idea is to be able to close Central Ave and probably fit part of 5th Street. If we bring food trucks in or craft fairs in our new open space as part of the Station Street project, we'll have electrical plugs there instead of running generators. It makes for a much more pleasant, use of property. I've seen that in lots of different, Sarasota did electrical boxes about 10, 12 years ago, and it is quiet when you go down there, other than the crowds, which is what I'd really like to see downtown. Florida Redevelopment Association, I am a member of the FRA, so I go and get ideas. That's where some of these ideas came from. The electrical boxes, I was down in Sarasota, and it was just like, that's a perfect thing that we can do here. Special district mandate fee, this is what we have to pay to the state for our special districts. Downtown furniture, benches, trash cans, bike racks, miscellaneous furniture. We'll be getting going on that a little bit more this year, this coming year. I only put 25 in. That goes really quick when you start getting a good program with bike racks and trash cans and things like that. The CRA programs, the assistance programs, part of the same account number, the 4,900, I've got demolition for existing buildings that are dilapidated, whether it's residential or commercial. We've got 15 in there. It usually takes about 4 to 5 to demo a building. So this could be the potential of 3 or 4 old buildings getting demoed and then replaced with hopefully a brand new building that we can actually use some of the CRA funds to help pay the impact fees for a brand new house that's affordable. See how I did that? The redevelopment or residential redevelopment assistance program, that's where we help pay for bringing a older building or an existing house that needs new paint, new windows, new doors. That $1,000 can go towards that, and there is no match on that. So if somebody wanted to just paint their house, that's the equivalent of like a 5-gallon bucket of paint and all the utensils and maybe a new front door. The residential fee assistance program, that's the one where we help pay the impact fee costs for a new residential home. $20,000 goes towards the business impact fee, and then $20,000 also towards the building permit refund assistance program. I'm hoping again that we get some brand new businesses downtown where we can actually utilize that program. We can always add more money into that if we need to, or increase the amount. The facade assistance program, I put $30,000 in there for that. And again, they don't always use the whole amount. Sometimes they only use $2,000 or $3,000 just to paint. The building code assistance, that's the biggie. That's the one that, people are using for air conditioners, plumbing, electrical upgrades, things like that. Florida Redevelopment Association, this is the annual conference. This is the hotel, food, things like that. I think last year it was only like about $600 that I did. The annual audit, we have to have a separate audit from the city's audit. That's a $5,500. We don't have a choice on that one either. And then the other one that we're already working on is the wayfinding signage. You got a little taste of some of the directional signage for the downtown at the last city council meeting. This is where we have bigger signs with where the police station is, where the city hall is, where the fire station is, where the historical society is, things like that. And those are usually done on the outskirts of town for the bigger signs. And then as you get into the smaller blocks, we have smaller signs that also give direction. That also includes the parking lot signs that we put up beginning of the year. I've already got comments on those. They said it's nice to, they kind of know where the parking lots are, but a lot of people don't know they can park here to go catty corner across the street. And that's what I do all the time because it's a lot easier to park here than it is over in some of the parking lots when they get busy. So that's our overall budget. And so what we're looking to do, what we're asking is to approve each of the resolutions, and then this is my caveat, is also to approve staff to complete minor changes to the assistance programs as needed to further the CRA redevelopment plan. A lot of that has to do with the tweaking the applications if I find something that just isn't worded right. The affordable housing programs, I like to tweak those. We originally did just single family, but one of the things that we found when we're talking with these townhome builders is that they feel left out, but they are also building affordable housing. So we wanted to make sure they were included. So something like that, we wanted to make sure we had that ability to help with those also.
So,
Big thing, that's one of the big things that CRAs are supposed to do is affordable housing. So, and right now, we got people knocking on the door ready to go.
so that was my question. So we are going to build affordable housing in the CRA district?
That's what we're promoting, yep.
Do you have any community residents or leaders in that community that are helping you with the CRA? Like, in other words, some sort of vision? Or is it just you working on the CRA?
It's us. That's what the CRA, that's what the redevelopment plan does. That gives us the direction, and then we create the programs which are actually outlined in the redevelopment plan. One of the things you cannot do is spend money on things that are not in the redevelopment plan.
Okay.
It's illegal.
Okay.
So that's why that's why we've got like a quarter-inch redevelopment plan that has a lot of different ideas, so that we have that option to be able to do other programs. And like I said, if there's something that you think of or you hear from another municipality or another county that's doing things
Right.
in their CRA or other ideas, I can look in the plan, and if it's not in there, and if it meets Florida statutes 163, Part 3, we can, I can amend the plan and bring it back to you. And then the county also has it's a charter county, so they also have a say into the redevelopment plan, but we can bring that back to you for those options.
Okay.
One last thing I'm going to mention real quick is the chair brought it up this evening, is that our CRA does sunset in January of 2024. So my plan right now is to do an application to extend that at least another 10 years, but probably 20. So that we're just getting rolling. As you know, I was gone for a few years and nothing got done. Things are getting done. So I kind of want to get that, keep that going.
Mr. Bankson.
Yeah, just the wayfinding signage, we've been talking about that for so long, as a lot of this. How far out are we? Because I know you said we've already started on that. When can we expect to really see all of that up? Or are we waiting because some of the things the signs will be for aren't done yet?
Well, the police station and the fire station are probably going to be about the same general location. We don't have to put the specific ones right at those corners, but we can do the leaders, kind of what I've got right now in front of AOK Tire. They've got, or I'm sorry, I think it's the Budget Hotel. There's 2 signs there. Those are ones I did about 25 years ago. So they've actually held up really good.
Yeah.
For some reason, they put 2 on the same post. But those are also be coming down when they do the renovations on 441 on the west side. But we've got some designs that are already going. The signs that are put up on 441 have to be approved by DOT. So depending on the sign size, they're either going to require 1 post or 2 posts. We're hoping 1, and the sign size and the footers and the brackets on the signs themselves will determine whether it's 1 pole or 2 poles. And then we've already got a general list of what we want to point out for locations, and that's something we'll probably be coming to you for that, so that you can see what we're directing things to. Or if you've got other ideas what you want us to direct to, whether it's the city center, Station Street project, Alonzo Williams Park, those are just 3 others that, I want to make sure we tell people where they are.
So, timeline.
Probably 6 months to a year, right now is what I'm looking at. The design is probably going to, getting all of the locations, the distance from the sidewalk or from the road right-of-way that we have to have for DOT. The roads that we control or that the county has, those are going to be a little bit easier to do than DOT.
And same with the downtown furniture, benches, trash cans, bike racks, all that. Is
That will
waiting
probably-
on the trail to be done first, and then those come in?
That's what I'm thinking right there, along with that, along with the Station Street project. Because Station Street project itself, they'll be able to take care of internal things, but I want to lead things to that. On Central Ave, on Marvin Zanders, I want to be able to tweak it and make it look where everybody's going, oh, look at that. And then they'll come to Station Street, or they'll come to one of the new buildings on Stations, or on Central Ave.
Yeah, and we have timeline already on that.
Yep, yep.
Commissioner Smith?
No.
Commissioner Nesta?
Are we budgeting, it's approximately $1 million a year for this? For the CRA, or what's that look like?
Well, we get tax increment financing started when we established the CRA and the Redevelopment Trust Fund. Any taxes that we get 95% of those taxes from both the city and the county. That accounts for about $400,000 a year. The first couple of years, we got nothing. I got donations from the Women's Club, from the Historical Society. The Women's Club is phenomenal. And we've steadily increased, and we knew that these projects were going to be coming on, so we basically banked it, put it in the budget, which is what you can do, and then when you have that money bankrolled, then you can start spending the money. So once these monies are expended, we get another $400,000 each year, but once it's spent, especially if the county does not allow us to extend the CRA past January 2024, that money goes away unless the city wants to put in our own funds for the CRA district.
Gotcha, okay, because that was gonna be my follow-up question, is how many times can we keep rolling it over, basically, to?
It should be within a 3 to 5 year period.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the type of project and how expensive it actually is.
Okay,
So.
perfect, thank you.
I just have 2 questions for you.
Let me go down.
Oh, who was left?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Member
forgot
Ms.
Nikki was
Williams,
here.
you good? Nothing?
Okay,
Can't see through all those partitions.
I'm sorry,
over there.
I really did, I'm sorry. So it's scheduled to sunset 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the procedure to extend it? What do you have to do?
Basically, putting together a report that shows what we've done, what we're planning to do with the money, how much money we have in the bank at the time in the Redevelopment Trust Fund, and what projects we are looking to do in the next 10 or 20 years, depending on what we want to accomplish with the CRA money. This is something that the CRAs. This is one of the reasons why some of the counties didn't want CRAs, or we get people that in the legislation that start putting more and more rules for CRAs, like not being able to renew them unless you have certain things done, or being able to establish them without certain procedures. Because the counties basically, they're contributing money to a CRA which is in a city, and they typically don't do that. So fortunately, Orange County worked well with us when we established this in '94, and we've been able to get quite a bit done, I think. And we got a lot more coming.
All right.
Have they, I think they've eliminated any new ones though, am I?
They can still do them, but there's so many hurdles that they have to do in order, and it's
For new
not, they're
ones.
not good for 30 years anymore either.
So it was established in 1994, this CRA,
Yeah,
and it'd be sunsetting in 2024.
yep.
And then you have to go to the county?
We actually approve a resolution here, and then that also goes to the county along with the revised redevelopment plan, asking for an extension. And this is where it's probably going to be more specific projects that we want to get done, whether it's water, sewer, some more assistance programs. If we know something else is coming in, or if we need any type of projects, those all have to be part of that new plan, or the revised plan. And basically, we're selling the CRA again to the county to allow them to extend it. There is an option. They do not have to do the full 95%. The lowest they can do is 50% contribution, which obviously cuts it almost in half their contribution, which is the lion's share right now. It's about a little over 300,000. But that's always an option. They might come back and say, well, I'm only going to do 75%. And I'd say that's a win to me. 95 was definitely, they're already used to it. Why not keep it the same? Because we can do more with it.
Okay. So when you say the county, which is what I want to know is, who's like the first line of, who's the first person you speak to at the county? Is it our county commissioner? Is it the mayor's office? Is it?
I usually talk to the county, the administrator for that, because they're the ones that have to prepare the docket to bring before the commissioners.
So worst case scenario is that we need to spend these funds before 2024.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
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 Any other questions? All right, well, I guess we need to,
3 items.
3 items. We need a motion to approve the CRA fiscal year 2022-2023 budget.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Nesta, or Member Nesta,
Seconded.
second by Member Williams. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Next up, we have need a motion to approve resolution number 2022-01 to appropriate the existing redevelopment trust funds to the next year, 2022-2023.
So moved.
And a motion by Member Smith,
Second.
second by Member Velasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I need a motion to approve resolution number 2022-02.
So moved.
Got a motion by Member Velasquez,
Second.
second by Member Bankson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Good enough.
Thank you very much. I got to tell you again, I say it in the emails, but it's an honor to be able to do this for Apopka.
Yeah. And so if you'd be sure to get all this up on our website, that would be amazing.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, everybody. All right. We've got about 3 minutes and we'll be back at it.